Talking about Barbie, what might be the largest and greatest marketing campaign in human history. How much money did this movie make by this point? Like a fucking quadrillion dollars or some shit?
Barbie's at 1.4 billion. Oppenheimer's at 900
Woo.
million.
Barbie's made some fucking Elon money, that's for sure. There's a lot of hype around this movie. Was the hype worth it? We're gonna find out.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
This is directed by Greta Gerwig. Margot Robbie as Barbie. Ryan Gosling as Ken. And then the supporting cast, we got Issa Rae as another Barbie. Kate McKinnon as Weird Barbie.
President Barbie.
Yeah, she's President Barbie.
A lot of Barbies.
A lot of Barbies in this movie, and there's a lot of Kens in this movie. Premise of this movie is Barbie's just like living in fucking Barbie land or whatever the fuck, and she's starting to have some feelings. She's starting to have some human emotions that she's not used to, and this sets her on a course to the real world to find out why she's having these issues. And we come to find out that it's actually the feelings of a real life person in the film.
She's being imprinted upon.
This movie's clearly about women's roles in society, how they are treated in not just the professional world, but just the world in general.
I think it was good. I think it was overhyped, though, for sure, for me at least. I did enjoy it, but it was pretty mid. I ain't gonna lie.
It's all right. There were some parts that I really laughed at, so I thought there was some hilarious stuff in it. Story really was kind of plain to me. It seemed pretty simple. So
I thought it was very creative. Obviously had a lot of poignant themes and topics that it wanted to address, but I think because of those themes, the actual plot sort of suffered a little bit, because really at the end of the day, you strip all the other shit away, it's just about Barbie becoming a real person. You have her like figuring out something's going on and her adventuring into the real world, and then the ending where she eventually becomes a real person, spoiler. But the stuff in the middle, which is where like sort of the drama starts to come in, I thought it started to like just sort of like drag a little bit.
I thought that was like one of the saving graces of the movie, though. Like without the depth, it would have been terrible.
I don't mean drag in a bad way, like it was slow.
Okay.
I mean drag in the sense of like it deviated from the actual plot of the movie.
Oh, what things do you think deviated?
The movie was made to, it seemed to me, discuss certain issues and themes, and I feel like the plot was kind of just like the afterthought to kind of just put the movie together. Like, well, if we're making a movie, we have to have a plot. What I thought was like the best part of the movie, the mother and daughter relationship, they were also kind of just like side characters to Barbie and Ken, which...
Well, to what they were doing, but it felt like that's what the theme of the movie was about. To me, it was about a mother losing touch with her
It was, for
growing
sure.
up daughter.
Well, that's one of the things, yeah. But those two characters...
It was a plot device for her to draw the pictures of the sad Barbie.
Yeah, but we're talking about America Ferrera. She plays the mom Gloria, and she's the one who's actually giving Barbie these weird human emotions. And Ariana Greenblatt, I believe is her name, and she plays the daughter, Sasha. All these feelings that Barbie's having is basically Gloria sort of using her daughter Sasha's old Barbie doll as a way to sort of like hold on to their connection when Sasha was a younger child. Sasha's older now. She's probably in like 9th or 10th grade. I don't know if they ever specifically address it, but she's in high school. You know, she's drifted apart from her mom. She has differing views. She doesn't play with Barbies anymore and like this, that, and the other thing. While that is a central piece of the movie is like the mother-daughter relationship, I think the ultimate theme of the film is just sort of identity. I think that comes full circle later on. And then you had like, we talk about Rhea Perlman was in the movie. She plays Ruth, who is the inventor of Barbie. And like, but in this film, she's like this like godlike sort of figure who she's like this sort of the spiritual advisor
She's
to
like the fucking,
to Barbie.
It reminded me of like the Oracle in fucking Matrix. Like
yeah.
That vibe was the same thing.
The Oracle. Actually, no, she was more like the creator, the architect in the Matrix.
Oh, the architect, yeah, probably so, yeah.
Ergo.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
I might get in trouble for this with one of my friends who I watched it with, but like, yeah, I just don't, like, it was a good movie, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, because it is a comedy.
Barbie Land was great.
I laughed numerous times. I thought the visuals were great, like you said. It reminded me almost like of like a Wes Anderson movie, but if Wes Anderson was like
It did remind me of that.
a 15-year-old girl.
Especially when they were traveling from the real world to Barbie world and vice versa.
Yeah, the cast was excellent. Everybody was great. Kate McKinnon was funny, as she usually is. Margot Robbie fucking crushed it as Barbie.
Oh, yeah, she was amazing.
Ryan Gosling, in my opinion, was the fucking scene stealer of the movie. And I know it might be like me saying that the man in the movie is the best of the movie is like the antithesis to what this movie was about. But I thought he was like the best in the movie. Every time he was on screen, he was fucking, he was just crushing it, I thought. Let's talk about the gripes, because I did have a couple, right? And it's not what other people thought. I'm not going to sit here like fucking Ben Shapiro and be like, oh, this movie made men look like idiots. Men are idiots.
Wet ass P word.
Yeah, wet ass P word, baby. Ben Shapiro, that's his nickname. Yeah, this movie's very much about like women's roles in society and how women, since they've been allowed to fucking have jobs and like just be a part of like the workforce and all this stuff, all the things that they've had to deal with because of men. And men are stereotyped in this movie, but so are the women. And that's where the movie comes around full circle. Like, yes, the movie is a huge narrative about like how women are treated in society. And like, guys, men, anybody watching this, if don't agree with this, like, you're not a woman, so you don't understand. So it's not fair for you to say that they're wrong. Go talk to any woman. If you're married, talk to your wife. You have a girlfriend, talk to her. They'll all tell you the same thing. Yeah, no, for sure. This is how men make us feel all the time. So when Barbie goes into the real world and she sees what a shithole it is and how it's not run by women and things are off the rails and she gets catcalled at a fucking construction site and all this stuff, it's just like funny comedy, but that's how women are treated a lot of the time. It just is. And it's something that as men, we need to come to terms with and try to be better and not do it ourselves and call people out who we see do it. I've seen some reviews where people are like, this movie's preachy and this, that, and anything. I didn't think that at all, because by the time the movie comes around full circle, when I said the real central theme of the movie is identity and really about like self and ultimately what it is to be human. That's what the movie is about. Because
I agree.
Because everything that's showcased in this is about like the complexity of human emotions.
I think it was also about like main characters and like background characters and the toxicity of that. So there needs to be more, I guess, equality of like, you know,
more balance
and being just happy, like you said, identity. So like being content with who you are. You don't have, not everyone has to be a superstar or even want to have to accede or go to those type of levels, you know.
And they showcase that through Ken as well, because Ken's whole like issue in this movie is that he is the background character to Barbie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie he loves Barbie and he's constantly trying to fight for her affection or get her to like him. And by the end of the film, Barbie's like, dude, I'm sorry that I took you for granted, but I also don't feel that way about you.
Right.
And there's an actual real touching moment where he's like, I was made like to love you. It's the reason why I was made, and it's like it's my only purpose, and you know, I exist only to, what does he say, to bathe in your light or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like
your
a really
or something.
Yeah, and it's like a really kind of like emotional moment, and she's like, well, how about you just go be your own person and exist for yourself and not for me. I think this is a very multi-layered and very smart movie, because it was able to touch on a lot of different topics, very important cultural topics about identity and like how women are treated.
Yourself and living the life you want to live, not the one that was created for you.
Right. And it was also about, it was just about a lot of different things, but centrally it's about what it, like the complexity of being a human being. We're just we're a very complicated species. So to just like basically define a human by like one or two things is pretty bizarre and stupid, in my opinion.
No, I won't let you do just one appendectomy.
But I'm a man.
But not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
And I need a clicky pen?
No.
A sharp thing?
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
The comedy in this was great. The story and the messaging, I mean, I just felt like it was in a backseat to me. Like I didn't care. I wasn't really it wasn't keeping me consumed and wanting to be like, okay, where are they going to take the story? I'm like, okay, well, they're showing the men's world and the woman's world, and they're kind of like showing the fight between how those things are very different. matriarch, patriarch, and all that stuff, which is fine. But
I think I agree with you guys that it felt a little bit overhyped having watched it.
Still enjoyable though, but just like
Yeah,
people,
no,
you know,
I enjoyed it again.
Insane.
The movie was funny. It works as a comedy. I legitimately laughed a number of times. The movie works in delivering the messaging, the many multi-layered messages that it wanted to deliver. Because again, I have to reiterate, it touched on many different topics that I think are both important and current, and it did them in a smart and creative way. But I just think the actual plot of the movie got lost under those messages. Like, I don't think the movie was preachy. I don't think the movie was too fucking woke or any of that stuff. I just think as a movie, the plot was kind of boring to me and like didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I legitimately squeezed out a tear or two a couple times during this movie. Like, person I was watching it with, I think, was like bawling a few times. But like, this movie is this is one of those movies that's gonna have a different impact depending on who's watching it. And obviously it's gonna mean a lot more to women than it is gonna be to men.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
now this is one of those movies that's gonna have those skewed ratings because there's a lot of fucking anti-woke woke comments there. But it's got a 7.2 on IMDb. I would probably give it like a 6.5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where I'd go.
6.5, 7. It's up there.
Yeah, it's in that
That's pretty
range,
good.
I think.